everybody? Scott Golden here with the NXT review for the 8th of February 2011. We go into kind of the review of the turning of Brodus Clay on his pro Ted DiBiase Jr. Then we go into, I guess you'd say, the bouncy house brawling with sticks, which is just goofy stuff, and Brodus Clay obviously dominates that during the early stages. And ultimately, Derek Bateman has a decent showing for himself too, but needless to say, Byron Saxton wins with that. Another elimination match later tonight. Hype to be had, and hype from last week's elimination match, which they show a good bit of, which, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just goofy to me, but when you have, issues with last week versus this week, and issues with the pros all being unhappy with things, I don't know, it's just there. And anyway, Derek Bateman is out and facing off against Byron Saxton. Of course, Saxton's pro is Dolph Ziggler these days. Decent enough match. Daniel Bryan isn't out there. Maybe there's miscommunication there, although he does show up later in the shot. And real basic wrestling, kind of grabbing holds. Takedown by Bateman. Bateman looks better as the pure wrestler than average. Also going to grab my phone. We'll be right back right after this. And again, here we go with the continuation of the, match itself. Bateman and Saxton is pretty basic. Bateman goes to the top rope as he's wont to do. Gets crotched in the middle there. Very basic kick off, and Dolph Ziggler on the apron is pretty assertive that everything is going his way. Kick out by Bateman. Bateman manages to come back from being crotched on that top rope in a way that most people wouldn't come back, at least that quickly anyway. Back elbow by Bateman, among other things. Bateman does manage to get a victory with a dropkick in the corner and a going back to the I guess you'd say the chin lock or whatever. It's here. It's nice enough, and Bateman getting a victory is good for business. Then we go to another Rookies Challenge. Eventually, Brodus Clay and Johnny Curtis are going to go at it, but there's hype around the wonder that is promos against each other after highlights from Raw and Mania and all of these other things, or hype for Mania, that is. Mania hasn't happened quite yet, but challenge, like a Price is Right sort of challenge thing here. Just goofiness, and various things are challenged. Elimination style. The elimination is coming, and that is not good for one of these combatants, to be sure. Brodus Clay kind of sends everyone out and about. More hype for the upcoming Elimination Chamber. Can't believe that. It's been around for as long as it has. Hype as Truth is getting Johnny Curtis ready for what's coming for him in the next little while here. Brodus Clay and Johnny Curtis. The shift between Brodus Clay moving on to having Alberto Del Rio as a pro after separating out from DiBiase. Actually, it's a better fit to begin with, but it is what it is as far as that's concerned. And then we see some power moves by Clay. Clay stays on Curtis pretty incessantly, aggressively here. Shoulder tackles a couple of times. Doesn't exactly get what he wants, and ultimately the drop of the elbow, or the attempted drop of the elbow. Doesn't get everything he wants there, but gets enough. And off we go. A couple of power moves along the way. Curtis manages to get a kick off, and basic thing here. Overhead hooked suplex by Clay. Clay still having difficulty, at least some, getting around at his size, even here in his prime. He eventually does lean up a little bit during the Funkadactyl time on the main roster, and he does pretty well. Chops in the corner and other strikes on Johnny Curtis. Curtis manages to get a spin kick along the way and some selling from Brodus Clay. Out the back door comes Clay just because of the size differential. Pros at the top of the ramp, which I don't know, I never really understood the pros at the top of the ramp thing here. But anyway, the pros are kind of talking about who's going to get the victory or the elimination, which is upcoming, and Brodus Clay gets a pretty strong win with a power slam here, and obviously gets the announcement. Byron Saxton gets eliminated. Again, crowd is somewhat saddened by this, and that will close us for today. Coming forward here. Needless to say, the crowd's a little surprised. Dolph Ziggler feigns his surprise very well, and again, that's where we go. We'll be back with more right after this.